Oh, Femi, you're killing me.
All right.
All right.
Finally, we can debate.
That's right. We can. It is now time for the second.
Did I win that round?
I give it to you.
Okay, thank you.
You won, I give it to you. Lagos, we are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. You cannot join the previous live stream because that has ended. You can refresh your feed, however, and the new live stream will pop up, okay? You need to see what is happening in the studio. You should be a part of that.
Unless you are just stubborn. And like my friend says, you don't used to hear word.
You
won't get anywhere, actually.
That's right.
But again, refresh your feed. The old feed is gone. And a new feed. Tunde, do we have a new feed?
I believe we do. That's
okay.
Right.
A new feed is up and running. Just refresh. The feed will be up on Facebook and on YouTube. It's Nigeria Info. You cannot miss it.
That's right. Last, it is time to debate this hour. Our debaters for 5 o'clock are Adio Afolarin, who is 16 years old, a representative, one of the many representatives of Ikorodu Senior High School. He is in SS3. His opponent is Uduehi Bolaji, a student of Command Secondary School, Ikpaja. I believe the only representative of Command Secondary School, Ikpaja. She is 16 years old. She is in SS2. And the topic for this hour is minimum wage increment is unrealistic at this time. Minimum wage increment is unrealistic at this time. We're about to find out who supports and opposes the motion. I mean, who supports or opposes the motion for this hour.
Afolarin Adio beat Christabel Okoye Obianoju to get here, and Bolaji Uduehi had walked over her opponent on that occasion, and here they are today. For Bolaji Uduehi, it will be the first time to really go head to head against a contestant.
That's right.
We did hear her on that earlier occasion. I think she argued for and against her own topic, and one of her sides won the other one. may we not become bipolar?
What was that topic again?
We're arguing with ourselves. It is better to be happy than to be successful.
That's right.
So I can't even remember which one won, whether it was happiness or success. One of those sides won. May we not be Gollum and Smeagol in one body. All right.
My precious.
All right.
Okay, Lagos.
What do they have in their pockets, sis? Okay. Let's get on with it.
That's right. Remember, your mics are quite adjustable, so endeavor to speak directly into your microphone. Okay, you may put on your headphones now. You're blowing into the mic, but you don't even have your headphone on. How will you know that you can hear yourself?
Other things to remember include the fact that the judges are awarding you points based on the number, the quality, and originality of every unique point you make. They're also judging your style based on the clarity of thought and eloquence of presentation. You will have 3 rounds: the presentation round, the rebuttal round, and the closing rounds, after which a decision will be made. Chances are you could tie. If you do tie, you'll engage in a tiebreaker round. For that round, you'll switch sides. You'll have 5 minutes to argue the position previously argued by your opponent, and a decision will be made. Afterwards, it will be final and binding. Remember, when you do your rebuttal rounds, to get to those rebuttal rounds, pay attention to the presentation round of your opponent. Make a note of points you would like to rebut, and perhaps add a few notes that you would want to rebut them with. Now, if you go into the rebuttals and you find you have spare time on your hands, you can go straight into making additional points. In the last debate, Naomi did not finish her point because she ran out of time, which is why, even if you've prepared your conclusions, you might pick out 1 or 2 of the points you would make, or if in your presentation rounds you ran out of time and you couldn't make a few points. So use the opportunity of the rebuttal round if you have excess time to make your own fresh points. Is that clear? I want to hear you say it. Is it
sir.
clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's find out what positions.
That's right. We will find out the positions now. I will start with the gentleman to my left. Adio, what side will you be arguing today?
Opposing.
You are opposing the motion that minimum wage increment is unrealistic at this time. That leaves Bolaji with the supporting side. Interesting, fantastic. These debaters have the topic, they know the rules, they know the sides they will be debating, and when we come back from this short break, it will be straight to the argument. This is I Beg to Differ Season 7, and we'll be right back. The round of 16 of Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ debate tournament has begun, and there is no slowing down. On Tuesday, Richard Naomi faces a Bolaji additioner at 4 o'clock to debate the topic. Climate change is the greatest threat facing humanity. And at 5 o'clock, Adio Afolarin and Uduehi Bolaji will go head-to-head on the topic. Minimum wage increment is unrealistic at this time. I am Yvonne Okhaifo. Join Femi, Obong-Daniels and me on Tuesday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to catch the action. I Beg to Differ Season 7. 32 debaters, now 16, one winner, 1 million naira. Sponsored by Maybrands, supported by Obiwizi and Just Food. For sponsorship, send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, a tournament of champions.
Welcome back. It is time for the debate between Afolarin and Bolaji. Yvonne?
That's right. The motion supporter is Bolaji Adeshina Mufida. You are the motion supporter. I beg your pardon, but you are the motion supporter because there is Bolaji in both your names. I'm sorry, beg your pardon. Bolaji, that's your name, right?
Uduehi.
You
Yes,
are
ma'am.
the motion supporter.
Yes,
Uduehi Bolaji, you are 16 years old, a student
Yes,
of
ma'am.
Command Secondary School, and you are supporting the motion. Your 3 minutes start now.
Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debater, and those tuning in, good morning. Good evening. My name is Uduehi Bolaji, and I'm going to be speaking in favor that minimum wage increment is unrealistic at this time. Firstly, what is minimum wage? Minimum wage is the least amount payable legally by an employer to his employee, and I think increasing it now is unrealistic. Why? My first point is economic recovery from the pandemic. Increasing the minimum wage will strain businesses just recovery from the pandemic, especially the hard-hit sectors like hospitality and retail. My second point is its potential for inflation. Increasing the minimum wage will translate the cost of production, which will prompt the producers to pass the expenses on to the consumers, which undermines the purpose of increasing the minimum wage in the first place. My third point is impact on small businesses. The small and medium enterprises, the SMEs operating under a tight margin, will find it difficult to absorb the higher cost of labor, which can lead to their closures. My fourth point is regional disparities. The one-size-fits-all wage policy overlooks regional disparities, which harms the urban area because the minimum wage that is an advantage to one area could be a disadvantage to another area. My fifth point is job losses. Increment in minimum wage hysterically correlates with job losses. In today's tech-driven world, businesses want to turn to automation, and by so doing, it exacerbates unemployment and job losses, especially among the low-skilled workers. My sixth point is wrong timing. If there was supposed to be an increase in the minimum wage, it should have been done in the 2024 budget, which was passed last year, not now, not at this time. My seventh point is government finance. Nigeria government is already facing a lot of fiscal challenges like high debt level and budget deficits. Increasing the minimum wage will strain the government finances, only leading to cuts in essential services and continued borrowing. According to the publication in the Punch newspaper, at 5th of October, the Nigerian state government borrowed 46.17 billion naira to pay salaries. If they increase the minimum wage, where will they get the funds to pay? My 8th point is informal sector dominance. Most Nigerians work in the informal sector. Increasing the minimum wage, where the minimum wage policy has limited reach, increasing the minimum wage means it wouldn't even be effective because it won't reach everybody in the country. My 9th point is currency devaluation. We all know that our currency is devaluating constantly. Increasing the minimum minimum wage will only make it devaluate faster. Imagine them increasing the minimum wage to 1 million naira. The level of things inflating will get so high, and our currency will begin to devaluate even faster than it is right now. My 10th point is effectiveness in policy enforcement. The 35,000 naira that was added last year September, how effective was that policy? My mom is a civil servant, and I can assure you that she saw that 35,000 naira just once. So what is our assurance that if they increase this minimum wage, they will apply these policies? Let me stop here and give my opponents a chance to speak. Stay tuned. I'll be back shortly.
Okay. And right on time too. Right on time. It is time to hear from Adio Afolarin, 16 years old, the student of Ikorodu Senior High School. He is opposing the motion that minimum wage increment is unrealistic at this time. Adio, you have 3 minutes to open your argument, and those 3 minutes start now.
My fellow Nigerians, while acknowledging Nigeria's economic hardships, we must recognize the urgent need to address the plight of low-wage workers. The current minimum wage does not adequately provide a decent standard of living, exacerbating poverty and inequality. In this critical juncture, raising the minimum wage is not only realistic, but essential in ensuring social justice and economic stability. Good day, the moderators, panel of judges, accurate and co-debater and my listening audience. My name is Adio Afolarin from Ikorodu Senior High School, here to oppose the motion states minimum wage increment is unrealistic at this time. To start with economic stimulus, increasing minimum wage puts more money in the hands of new-equal workers who are likely to spend it quickly, stimulating economic growth. Research from the International Monetary Fund (IMF) has shown that raising minimum wage can have a positive impact on economic growth by boosting consumer spending, particularly among low-income households who are more likely to spend a larger portion of their income. Also, poverty reduction. Increasing minimum wage can have a positive impact on poverty reduction as they provide a higher standard for living for minimum wage workers. Also, data from the World Bank has shown that raising minimum wage has been effective in reducing poverty rates in many countries around the world. For example, a study published in the Journal of Economic Surveys found that raising minimum wage has been effective in reducing poverty rates, and a 10% increase in minimum wage can lead to a 2 to 3% decrease in poverty. Also, healthier workforce. A higher minimum wage can lead to better health outcomes for workers as they can afford health care, nutritious food, and other essentials, which are all necessary for better workplace efficiency. Research from the World Health Organization (WHO) has shown that higher wages are associated with better health outcomes, including lower rate of chronic diseases, higher life expectancy, and better mental health. Also, cost of living. The current minimum wage in Nigeria does not adequately reflect the high cost of living in many parts of the country, and so making it so necessary to increase the minimum wage. According to non-bill, the cost of living index in Nigeria is 27.99%, indicating high living expenses. Apart from that, reduced income inequality. Incrementing the minimum wage can help reduce income inequality by providing a higher standard of living for low-wage workers, narrowing the gap between the rich and the poor. According to Statista.com, Nigeria's Gini Index, a measure of income inequality, is forecast to amount to 35% in January 2024. So, increasing minimum wage can help reduce this inequality by lifting the incomes of the lowest paid workers. Also, inflationary edge. Incrementing the minimum wage can act as an edge against inflation, making sure that the percentage of workers' wages keeps pace with the rising prices. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria's annual inflation rate climbed up a 28-year high of 29.9% in January 2024, up from 28.9% in December, and full inflation, which accounts for the bulk of Nigeria's inflation basket, quickened again to 35.4% in January, up from 33.9% a month earlier. Lastly, fair compensation. Workers deserve to be fairly compensated for their labor, and increasing minimum wage is a step towards achieving that goal. According to the Nigeria's Employers Consultative Association, many workers in Nigeria are not adequately compensated for their labor, and so increasing minimum wage is essential, ensuring that they receive the fair wages for their contributions to our economy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Woo. We will take a very, very short break, Lagos. When we come back, you will hear the rebuttal arguments. This is I Beg to Differ Season 7, and we'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to turn up the heat this season on I Beg to Differ. For a moment, let us focus on Maybrands Nigeria. Maybrands is not just about watches. It is a fashion accessory store that celebrates your authenticity with elegance and timeless charm. Do you know that Maybrands Nigeria is the official Fossil watch store in Nigeria? As a recognized retailer of Fossil Group in Nigeria, we are officially authorized to carry the international brands such as Fossil, Michael Kors, Skagen, Emporio Armani, Armani Exchange, Diesel, and Casio. Each piece is not just a watch or an accessory, but a statement reflecting your unique taste. Maybrands Nigeria is easily accessible to you and your loved ones with 12 stores across Nigeria, including locations in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kano, Uyo, and Delta. Whether you are treating yourself or searching for the perfect gift for that special person, Maybrands Nigeria is your destination for exquisite watches, bags, and accessories for male and female. Simply visit any Maybrands store or shop on our website at www.maybrands.com.ng. Send us a DM on all socials at Maybrands Nigeria or call us at 0816 387 6153. Take that again, 0816 387 6153 today. Let us be your plug for that special moment. Now, if you're a listener on the I Beg to Differ competition, then visit any of the outlets or the website and use the coupon code I Beg to Differ to get a 5% discount off all your purchases. Offer is valid till the 7th of March 2024.
Welcome back. It's time for the rebuttal rounds between Afolarin Adio and Bolaji Uduehi, both 16 years of age. Afolarin of Ikorodu Senior High School, SS3, the class, and of course, Bolaji in SS2 at Command Secondary School, Ikpaja.
That's right. We will start this round with the motion opposer, 16-year-old Adio Afolarin. You have 3 minutes to pick your opponent's points apart, and those 3 minutes start now.
All protocol delay observed. My name is still Adio Afolarin from Ikorodu Senior High School. Opposing the motion states minimum wage agreement is unrealistic at this time, and these are my reporter arguments. My opponent stated potential for inflation. Well, studies have shown that minimum wage agreement does not necessarily lead to increased inflation. For example, it was shown in a study published in the Economic Center for Economic and Policy Research that moderate increases in the minimum wage have little to no effect on the overall price level. Also, my opponent stated impact on small businesses. Well, studies have shown that small businesses can adapt to moderate increases in the minimum wage through adjusting their prices, increasing their productivity, and also absorbing wage costs by reducing their profits. And this was also proven by the Journal of Economic Perspectives, that moderate increases in minimum wage does not affect small businesses as they can absorb wage costs. Also, my opponent stated regional disparities. Well, in actuality, minimum wage policies can be tailored to account for these regional cost of living differences, as was seen in the United States, where high wages were implemented in high-cost cities and states. Also, she also mentioned job losses. Well, studies have shown there's evidence from other countries that increases in minimum wage does not necessarily lead to job losses. It was also seen in the United Kingdom, where minimum wage increases did not have little to no adverse effects on their employment levels. My opponent also stated budget problems. Well, do you know, as Nigeria's budget allocation for wages has historically been low compared to other African countries. According to the World Bank, Nigeria's wage allocation as a percentage of the GDP is relatively lower than the sub-Saharan African average. Also, my opponent stated fiscal deficit. Yes, I agree. While investing in fiscal deficit is important, we can also invest in human capital through investment in skill development and training, which in turn stimulates economic growth and tax revenue in the long term. My opponent also stated informal sector dominance. Well, increasing minimum wage can help formalize the informal sector, and also the awareness of a minimum wage increase can allow workers to better fight for their rights in the minimum wage laws. Also, my opponent stated effectiveness in the policy. Well, increasing minimum wage, as I previously said, increases awareness of these things, and it does allows it to be better spread, and the cases of efficiency in the policy not being carried out effectively will be reduced. Thank you very much.
A round of applause to Afolarin Adio. Rebuttal round over for him.
That's right.
Next up, his opponent, Bolaji Uduehi.
To Bolaji we go now. Bolaji, you have 3 minutes to rebut your opponent's points, and those 3 minutes start now.
Still standing on the existing protocols, I still remain Bolaji Edeesi Uduehi, and I would like to rebut 3 of your points with just one statement. You said economic stimulus, poverty reduction, and cost of living. But do you know that if they increase the minimum wage, the cost of living will even multiply? Just imagine now, the the president of the NLC is suggesting a 1 million naira increase. Imagine they increase that minimum wage to 1 million naira. How much do you think you buy such of filter? Adio, let me tell you, you buy it for 100 naira. So if they increase the minimum wage, the cost of living will also increase. You said inflationary edge. when they increased the minimum wage by 35,000 naira for 6 months, did it stop inflation? Inflation is even getting worse. There is a increase in minimum wage at hand. Okay, fine, it's ending I think on Thursday, but yet there is still inflation. So increasing the minimum wage does not stop in inflation. And you said fair compensation. Do you think that any human being can be satisfied? Even if they increase minimum wage, more challenges will still come up, and people will still complain they should increase it again till our currency is completely devaluated. And you rebutted my point. You said you were calling countries like USA and UK. I think you are missing the point in the topic. It says at this time, the situation in USA and UK is different from the situation we're facing in Nigeria. So you're not supposed to compare our country to USA or UK or other African countries that didn't have any negative impact. Our country is a totally different and a very, very different country. And you said informal sector dominance to spread, blah, 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 blah. See, Adio, let me tell you something. Rather than them creating such inequality, the formal sector, they will be earning, I think, 1 million naira. Why the informal sector are just left to work out for themselves? How do you expect that to be? How is that even a fair compensation? How is it even fair to you as a citizen? You're just speaking like that. Okay, imagine your both parents are working in the informal sector and they increase the minimum wage. What impact does it have on you? It has zero impact. When the minimum wage was 30,000 naira and they added 35,000 naira, which was 5,000 naira, I want to ask you one question, Adio. Did you feel the impact? The obvious answer is no. Some of all these things, they do it and we don't even feel the impact. It's because of the level of inflation. In the words of Patrick Obahiagbon, this is my humble logomoki, a logomoki without a logo partial. Stay tuned. I'll be back.
Thank you.
Okay. Perhaps these kids should catch their breath for a few seconds, and when we come back, we will hear the closing arguments. Lagos, it is hot in here, even though the air conditioning in this place is optimal. We'll be right back.
South Pole things. Huh?
Lagos, if you've been thinking about getting a gadget upgrade, then you'll be interested in info I'm about to give you, especially if you're trying not to break the bank in getting a brand new one. And the part that gets me is that their gadgets come with a warranty. Yes, I'm not joking, Lagos. Pre-owned gadgets with a warranty. Let me introduce you to Obiwizi, Nigeria's pioneer e-commerce platform for pre-owned gadgets with a warranty. Yes, here you can purchase all your favorite gadgets and quality accessories, both brand new and pre-owned. You can also trade in your older devices to get a newer model in a simple and convenient way. To crown it all, when you decide to sell off your device to meet that important cash obligation, Obiwizi is your guy. They've got you any day, anytime. So what are you waiting for? You can call 0813-943-5241. 0813-943-5241. For more updates, you can also follow their social media platforms on Instagram at ObiWeezyCare. That is in small letters ObiWeezyCare, or on X at ObiWeezy. That is in small letters ObiWeezy. And they will definitely respond to your emails if you send them a message at info@obiweezy.com. That is info@obiweezy.com. With convenient offline and pickup stores in Ikeja, Lekki, Abuja, and Bini, Obiwizi delivers nationwide. Visit www.obiwizi.com today. That is www.obiwizi.com today, and upgrade your gadgets the easy way.
Welcome back. We are in a race against time. It's 25 minutes to the top of the hour.
That's right.
The second debate of the day is between Afolarin Adio and Bolaji Edeesi Uduehi. Both of them 16 years of age, representing Ikorodu Senior High School and Command Secondary School, Ikpaja, respectively.
It is time for these brilliant minds to close their arguments. The topic remains minimum wage increment is unrealistic at this time. The motion supporter is Uduehi Bolaji. The motion opposer is Adio Afolarin. It is time to hear the motion supporter rest her case. Bolaji, you have 3 minutes now to rest your case, and those 3 minutes start.
You're still listening to Bolaji, and Firstly, I would like to be providing some solutions rather than increasing the minimum wage. See, Nigerian governments are fond of padding up issues. Like when there's a problem, they patch it up rather than just increasing the minimum wage. With our unstable economy, they should rather revamp the economy that will have impact on both the formal and informal sector, rather than just going and just increasing the minimum wage. Later on, the problem will still come back because our economy is imbalanced. They should first sort out the problem of the economy before they can. When they sort out the problem of the economy, there will no reason, no doubt, the minimum wage that they are earning now will be enough to sustain them. Another one is the labor concerns. As at last year, I think before January, the president of NLC, Joe Ajero, was suggesting a 200,000 naira labor minimum wage increase. But later on, he came up with the 1 million naira minimum wage increase. Who can understand the pain of Nigerian workers more than the NLC? If he says there is need for increase, who are we to say there is no need for increase? And again, the government should, furthermore, the government should focus on a broader economic growth strategy. That is areas like education and infrastructure development, healthcare, and many more, rather than going to minimum wage increase. Because when the government increase the minimum wage, they will use that opportunity to extort. The taxes will increase, everything will inflate, everything will blow up, our economy will scatter. I can assure you, see, by the time they increase the minimum wage, the song that Obesere was singing to the Egungun is what I will sing to Nigeria economy. The Nigeria economy should be careful because it's express you are going to. And by the time they increase the economy, I will come back and say, it don't happen. I don't talk. See, Adio, currently, in our Nigeria economy, pressure tiwa. If they increase the Nigeria economy, pressure mawa. If they increase the minimum wage, pressure mawa. And the pressure will be too much for our government to handle. Because the current one on ground, they cannot handle it. Talk less of the problem that is associated with the increment in minimum wage. So I still stand to oppose the increment of minimum wage that is supporting the unrealistic, supporting that increasing the minimum wage is unrealistic. I rest my case.
Case rested in good time. And now we will hear the motion opposer. Adio Afolarin, 16 years old, Ikorodu Senior High School student, also in SS3. He will rest his argument now. Beg your pardon. You guys have confused me in this studio. Adio, your 3 minutes start now.
All protocols still duly observed. My name is Adio Afolarin from Ikorodu Senior High School. Opposing the motion states minimum wage increment is unrealistic at this time. My closing points are productivity growth. Workers' productivity has increased over the years, yet wages haven't kept up. And so increasing minimum wage reflects the increased value workers bring to the economy. To prove this, a meta-analysis published in the Journal of Economic Surveys found that higher wages are often associated with higher levels of job satisfaction, which in turn leads to increased productivity. Also, talent retention. Better compensation helps businesses attract and retain skilled workers, and reducing turnover costs and enhancing organizational performances. To prove this, survey on employers consulted by organizations like the Society for Human Resource Management (SHRM) have consistently found that increasing the minimum wage is one of the most effective strategies for attracting and retaining talent. Also, improved education access. Families with higher incomes can better afford education for their children, contributing to improved human development and long-term economic growth. It has been shown from the data in the UNESCO that children from low-income families are more likely to stay in school and pursue higher education when their families earn higher wages, as they can afford tuition fees and other educational expenses. Additionally, reduce reliance on social assistance. With higher wages, workers may rely less on social assistance programs, reducing the burden on government resources. Apart from that, gender equality. Women make up a significant portion of the minimum wage workers, and so increasing minimum wage can help narrow the gender pay gap and promote gender equality. Data from the World Economic Forum's Global Gender Gap Report has shown that women make up a significant portion of the minimum wage workers, and so increasing minimum wage can help reduce this gender pay gap as women are overrepresented in low wage occupations. And also, social cohesion. Ensuring that all workers receive a fair wage fosters social cohesion and a sense of shared prosperity, contributing to a more stable and inclusive society. Apart from that, reduce child labor. Poverty often drives children into the labor force, and so increasing the minimum wage can help reduce child labor by providing a better standard of income for their households. According to the International Monetary Fund, the number of child laborers in Nigeria is estimated to be about 15 million child laborers, and so increasing minimum wage can help reduce this number by making sure that our families earn higher income. And lastly, increase disposable income. With the increased minimum wage, families and households can have an increased disposable income, which correspondingly leads to an increase in their purchasing power and an increase in the profit of local firms. Invariably, it's a win-win situation as it is through the circular flow of income. With all this to prove, I hope I've been able to make you understand that increasing minimum wage is definitely, undoubtedly, and absolutely realistic at this time. Thank you.
You're welcome, Adio Afolarin. And so, the debate has rested. Both arguments have been made. And it is up to the judges to give their verdict.
We'll take a short break. When we come back, it will be time for a decision to be made. Stay with us. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info. I beg to differ. Students debate Lagos.
The round of 16 back at you with some news that you can use. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you are out there and you are a fan of the sweet things, I'm talking ice cream, but you know that you are lactose intolerant. Indeed, more than 70% of people who are black have been said to be lactose intolerant. So I am likely talking to somebody who needs the information that I'm dropping on them. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Just the Light non-dairy ice cream. This is Nigeria's first plant-based ice cream suitable for individuals who are lactose intolerant and those who just want to indulge. Yes, this is for you. It is conveniently available at all major supermarkets and stores nationwide. Manufactured and distributed by Just Food Limited, Just the Light non-dairy ice cream can be purchased online at www.justfood.ng. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are you waiting for? Go out there, get yourself a piece of this sweetness, and welcome to the lactose intolerant side of life.
Welcome back. This is I Beg to Differ Season 7. We are waiting for the judges to collate and send in their results. As I reckon, it's going to be quite a struggle because these youngsters have put up such a good show, such a fantastic show. And well, one can only hope for the best from the judges. This is I Beg to Differ Season 7. We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. I Beg to Differ Nigeria Info everywhere. Tune into the live streams to see what is going on in the studio, to see 16-year-old Adio Afolarin and 16-year-old Uduehi Bolaji in the studio.
All right, this debate was between 16-year-old Adio Afolarin and 16-year-old Uduehi Bolaji Edeesi. The decisions are beginning to come in. I've already seen the scorecard of the chief judge, which I will be taking in just a bit. And as the rest of the decisions come in, it will be interesting to see how this debate develops between both of them. Wow. All right, thank you very much for all the messages you've been sending. We'll be compressing this hour because of the news at 6.
That's right. And while we await old scorecards, this message says, Village headmaster and city headmistress, I'm totally speechless like Michael Jackson. I mean, what more can I say? Pressure, Tiwa. Ayola from Ketu with that one. Thank you, Ayola. Standing on all protocols earlier observed, I'd like to commend our indefatigable and incorruptible judges for their unbiased decision so far. I wish you took decisions on the elections. I heard a new one today. A logomoki without a logomokium. From the one and only Patrick Obahiagbon, my kinsman, by the way. Wow. Thanks for the fireworks in the studio, made possible by Bolaji and Adio. I wouldn't want to be a judge right now. Uduehi, your confidence and assertive manner. It's plenty. Adio, I just want you to build and boost your confidence. Don't be intimidated. You are not audible and it can affect your point delivery. Do away with timidity. That goes to you, Adio. I beg you. Give it all you've got. You both are amazing kids, and your school would be so proud. You rep them well. Please work on your weaknesses and come out a better version of yourselves. Lots of love from Mrs. Oboli. And God, Lord have mercy. What a show. But I'd love to point out, especially because Adio, Bolaji didn't have an opponent in her debate, but you did. And it is interesting to see that you have improved from the last time we saw you. You took the lessons that we shared with you to heart, and you put on a better delivery today. Well done. I couldn't end this. I couldn't not say that, because that's something beautiful to see. And to you, Bolaji, you've never disappointed. Lagos loved you from the get-go, from when you opened your mouth and said it is better to be successful than to be happy, and then went on to say, hold on just a moment, it is also better to be happy than to be successful. Lagos loved you. So whatever happens today, you have fans already, and this has been quite a show, and I dare say the best debate so far in this tournament, because you both were phenomenal. Well done to you both. Let's see if the judges have all sent in their results now.
We've received 3 or 4.
And it seems to be, the results seem to be going in one direction, Femi.
Yeah, in a bit, you will hear the results so far. We just want to wait for the final result to come
Let's
in.
see if we have another message here. Good evening once again, Dotun here. Please, it seems I need an encyclopedia because my head has almost exploded. Oh, let's leave Sir Patrick out of this debate, though. Without him, the young champs are murdering the topic. I don't envy your jobs and the judges right now. May the better debater win. Again, if you'd like to hand out consolation prizes to your favorite debater today or in the tournament going forward, send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm, or better yet, reach me on social media. Yvonne Okhaifo is spelled Yvonne. Okhaifo is spelled Okhaifoh, because whatever happens today, our hearts will be broken either way.
Well, interesting stuff. Just to note for both of you, all the judges' scorecards have come in. So I may just as well share, not a lot, but just pay a little attention. Great improvement, Afolarin, from your first debate. There's still work to be done in terms of clarity and audibility. It got better as you went, but again, first impressions. You have to come in sounding clean, clear, and crisp. Afolarin, Bolaji, enjoyed your debate. Watch out for words like sachet, not sachet, sachet. And the Naira has already been devalued, not devaluated, like you said. I guess it was an error in rapid speech. And again, ask, not ax. Also, our economy is imbalanced. It's really not, you probably meant to say it's not balanced or you're on balance. Do you understand? So the imbalance itself does not describe. It's more like it's a name. It's like a noun. Okay, there is imbalance in the economy. But you don't say our economy is imbalanced. Do you understand that? And I enjoyed the part where you said you'd buy pure water for 100 naira. I just found out today that they're already selling pure water for 50 naira in some parts. I heard in Ibadan, a student telling me buying pure water for 50 naira per sachet. It's interesting. Good analogy. It is time for us to arrive at a decision, as already sent in by all our 4 judges for this debate. I would like to start with the scorecard of the Chief Judge, Dr. Chike Mbadije. Presentation round. Bolaji, 16. Afolarin, 15.5. 15.5. Rebuttal rounds. Bolaji, 8.5. Afolarin, 15. Closing rounds. Bolaji, 3. Afolarin, 15.5. For style, Bolaji, 6. Afolarin, 8. For a total of 33.5 points to Bolaji and 54 points to Afolarin.
And now to Judge Ufoma's scorecard, he awards 18 points for presentation to Bolaji, 16 points to Adio. For rebuttals, 14 points to Bolaji, 17.5 points to Adio. For closing, 3 points to Bolaji and 17.5 points to Adio. For style, 8 points to Bolaji and 6 points to Adio, with a total of 43 to 56.5 in favor of Adio.
And now to the scorecard of George Ama Ekove. For the presentation rounds, Afolarin, 19. Bolaji, 19.5. For the rebuttal round, Afolarin, 18. Bolaji, 12. For the closing rounds, Afolarin, 18. Bolaji, 7. For style, Afolarin, 8. Bolaji, 7. For a total of 63 points to Afolarin and 45.5 points to Bolaji.
And now we come to Judge Ishioma's scorecard and see that for presentation, she awards 7 points apiece to both Bolaji and Afolarin. For presentation, she awards 16.5 points to Bolaji and 15 points to Adio. For rebuttals, 9 points to Bolaji and 16 points to Adio. For closing, she awards 5 points to Bolaji and 14 points to Adio, with a total of 37.5 to Bolaji and 52 points to Adio.
Hello! Are you looking for a place to get affordable luxury wristwatches, jewelry, and bags? Then your search is over. Maybrands Limited is a place where you can shop exclusive and affordable fashion brands. Maybrands Limited is the distributor of Fossil brands, Authentic Michael Kors, Emporio Armani, Nixon, Diesel, all with 2 years international warranty on the movement of the watch and excellent after-sales service, which involves after-purchase maintenance and watch repair.
Which now brings us to the grand total. With a score of 225.5 points to 159.5 points. It is indeed a unanimous decision that our winner and qualifier to the quarterfinal of this fourth debate of the round of 16 is Afolarin. Adio. Congratulations, Folarin.
Now, the judges here say that Judge Ufoma says Bolaji lost it in her closing because she made just 1 point. She made just 1 point in her closing. But Bolaji, I mean, we cannot take away the fact that you are a brilliant debater. You obviously know your onion. You know the stuff that you're made of. Unfortunately, there can be just one winner. I see a lot of comments here and tears flowing for you. For instance, this person says, why? I really liked this girl. Oh. But really, in closing, this Adio boy was making some good points. Though silent, but the points they enter. Congratulations to Adio. It's exactly the same point one of the judges made, that you lost it in your closing argument. But you were a brilliant debater, and I think you deserve a round of applause as well. So that means that Adio will be opposing the motion. You will be supporting the motion in the quarterfinals. You will get your topic. In fact, here is your topic for the quarterfinal match. Femi, would you do the honors, please? Okay, sorry, thank you. That's your topic for the quarterfinals match. Remember to pay attention to the date and time of your debate so that you don't miss out, okay? This message says, very awesome debate. He actually gave a lot of points, especially at his closing. Kudos to the judges from KC. Okay, Nigeria is blessed with brilliant children. I wish the government would create the right avenue for our kids to grow, just like Nigeria Info is doing now. Kudos to the debaters for their performance. Chinedu from Ajat with that one. You've just seen a part of it. We will come back with more tomorrow. You do not want to miss the action.
Most certainly. And may I just say, Bolaji, you gave a brilliant account of yourself.
I agree.
I think the fact that you did not debate an opponent in the first round, in the round of 32, affected you today. I was not surprised, to be honest with you, at the scoring, even though you were a delight to listen to throughout your debate. However, points matter in a debate of this nature. And it was clear to me that you won the presentation round. But it was also clear to me that you lost the rebuttal rounds and you lost the closing rounds. Not because you were not interesting, but because you just weren't making the point.
That's right. Extra points.
The good news is you're in SS2. So meaning I cannot wait to see you.
And by the way, Bolaji will be placed on the wild card list. So of course you are there with Olaniyan Fadil on our wild card list, which means you can come back. You might come back if an opening, occurs. And then one of the judges says to give you her regards because in fact, indeed, you were truly brilliant. You were brilliant.
You literally made a single point in your closing. 3 minutes, just 1 point. In fact, somebody sent a message and said, Bolaji used 1 point to rebut 3. Do you understand? Well, you could have broken it and allowed the judge to score you. But these are lessons you will take into. Points. You are brilliant to listen to. I want to see you progress.
That's right.
But I was feeling sad. I started feeling sad after the rebuttal. Because I know that this girl is brilliant.
She is indeed.
But her opponent is smart. He's just hitting her with the points. And because he's learned some experience from his previous debate. So it takes nothing away from your quality. It's just another lesson in the curve as you continue to ascend to the top.
That's right. But one of the judges says could have won today as well if you had a better closing.
Yeah.
So you made
The
just
closing.
1 point.
The
Remember,
closing. Because
it's all about points.
the rebuttals were close.
Very close.
Do
indeed.
you understand?
Yes.
In one judge, it was 8.5. Okay, this one was almost, Fulani had 15, you had 8.5. In another one, you had 14. Afolarin had 17.5. In another one, Afolarin had 18, but you had 12. In another one, you had 9. Afolarin had 16. Yeah, actually, the rebuttal
because
the rebuttal
she didn't
round let
quite,
you down.
rebut as much as
No,
he did. Unfortunately,
no, she didn't rebut a lot, and she did not add new points.
Unfortunately,
So I mean, there is so though the conversation was very interesting
It
and
was
engaging,
truly engaging.
I can imagine the judges holding their pen waiting for okay, yes, great, next point, and the next point never came.
unfortunately.
We gotta go.
Again, I have to say this: if you wish to give consolation prizes to your favorite debaters, send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. But if you'd rather do it the faster way, reach out to me on social media, Facebook or on Instagram. Yvonne Okhaifo. Yvonne is spelled YVONNE. Okhaifo is spelled OKHAIFOH. We've got to go. We'll be back tomorrow, same time. And the debate continues. Stay here.
Join the conversation on the 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.